this line of questioning when you tell me, so what if I can't stand this kind of stuff, and you can apply it to so what if I go to a bar but I never drink or talk to women, and I have milk, skimmed milk? Yeah, and you don't give me that voice and make everything so innocent.
That's an almond milk voice.
Huh?
That's almond milk.
صحيح مش كده؟ Almond milk or soy milk or something like that. So what if I murder someone and take the life out of his body? Don't give me that nonsense. يعني you're forgetting that the Muslim, you want to be distant from shirk. You know that there's something pagan here, that there's acts of worship, believes in evil spirits and monsters and people returning from the dead and people trapped between. The believer can't tell me, so what if after you hear something like this. You want to be very distant from this kind of thing. There's also the issue that every nation has their own Eids and their own festivals. And we're a nation and we have 2 Eids in the year. And a nation's celebrations are something that are the most specific to them. They will define a culture or a people. A strong part of their identity would be their celebrations. You fly to a country and they have a celebration on this day. That's specific to them. That's part of their identity. And you have your identity. And then when you just start saying, so what, and we melt and we do this type, where's the boundary? What is out of bounds at that point? And we had an imam climb the minbar in Virginia, and he was like, it's okay to celebrate Christmas because it's the birthday of a prophet that we believe in, and we also celebrate his birth. Yeah. Who said that that's his birthday? Who said that? And it's not even the case, And on that note, I do want to bash an old lecture of mine, which I really dislike. I have this old lecture. Don't listen to it. It's on the internet. It's about...
Where can we find it to not listen to it?
I'm not going to tell you. It's horrible. Like, I just heard parts of it today. I'm like, oh my goodness, You're 25 or 24 or whatever, and you just say some weird stuff. And so basically it was like a reaction to all the nonsense that the things that the imams were saying, that celebrating Christmas is okay because we believe in Jesus, and this is okay and that's okay. So as to offset that level of, I brought the harsh opinions, as a young person, and I really can't stand that lecture. So I want to publicly, you can't, but you distance myself as much as possible. One of the things I said there, Sheikh, and it's not even my opinion, like I took it from the scholars, but I just listened to it now, and it's so, they said, it's haram to eat turkey on Thanksgiving. Because they said, their argument is, to be part of a celebration, you have to do some of the rituals that are done on that day. And what do people do on Thanksgiving? They gather and they eat turkey. So if your mom cooks a turkey, don't eat it on that day. Put your portion in the fridge. Next morning it's halal for you. Again, these are things I regret. But, and I know Sheikh Walid doesn't like that lecture either. And if Sheikh Walid doesn't like anything, then you have to not like it. Am I right?
The only thing that I'll add to it is the greater Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is in a person's heart, the greater Tawheed is in a person's heart, the more distant. Like for example, look at the fear that we've all had towards the coronavirus over the past 2 years and the lengths that we were going to protect ourselves from something like this, right? The more dangerous something is in your mind and in your heart, the more willing you are going to be to separate yourself from that. And so I can't imagine a person who says who cares to these concepts except for somebody who doesn't see shirk as being significant and doesn't see the significance of gaining the love of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and belief in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. The more these things are real in a person's mind and heart, the more they will distance themselves from anything that may jeopardize or corrupt it, the belief in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, or anything that might cause them to fall into shirk. And Allah knows best.
There is one point I want everyone to keep in mind. And I'm amazed by how much people don't pay attention to this. There is a strong connection between outside and inside. Your outward and inward. Like you can't separate the both. If you think what you say, it will not affect your heart. If you think what you see, it will not affect your heart. If you think what you hear, it will not affect your heart. If you think who you sit around and with will not affect your heart. If you think what you consume will not affect your heart. If you think what you touch is not going to affect your soul, you're wrong. You're dead wrong. And you need to be very careful of just not paying attention to this. Because this is all lead to insight. And that's why the Sharia came with so many rules. Say, don't imitate, don't be like them, don't do this, don't do that. That's why Sheikh gets so upset when he hears people, so what? So what? Because it corrupt your inner. And if you're wrong, there is no one different. It is a connection. The soul and the body, you cannot separate them from each other until death. That's why in the day of judgment, they fight. The soul will say to the body, you misled me. And the body will say to the soul, you misled me. The body would say to the soul, I am like someone who is handicapped, can't move his hand or legs. You the one who made me move. Then the soul would say, my example and your example is like someone who is, can't walk. His legs are, can't carry him. And another person who's blind. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will send an angels to the person, tell him, the example of your soul and your body is like someone blind and someone who is crippled, can't stand up. So they see this beautiful tree, beautiful apple. So the blind said, I can't see it. And the other one said, I can't reach it. So they said, okay, I will carry you so you can reach the apple. And they reached the apple, which is forbidden for them to eat. Questions. Which one is a wrongdoer? The blind person or the person who can't stand in his feet? Huh? Both. That's exactly how your soul and your body. Your body cannot work without your soul. Your soul cannot reach without your body. You can't separate them from each other. Keep that in mind. Sorry for